Hey, hey, Patrick Kelley. I'm a distinguished architect, by the way, at Zoom. I do work for Zoom, but I must warn you, I am not a figurehead for Zoom. I am not a spokesman for Zoom. I just talk a lot about technology and cool technology, and typically that just involves Zoom most of the time. I actually had the pleasure today to be a keynote speaker at a new program here at Zoom called Zoom Grad. And I met with what I can't remember how many people. We're about 150-ish, 200-ish people that are new to Zoom. Their fourth day at Zoom, and all freshly out of college and graduated, and now joining the ranks of the enterprise and commercial corporate world and working at Zoom. I'm sure the first 3 days were exciting. But day 4 is going to be the memorable one, right? That's the day you got to hear from me. So welcome, Zoom grads. It was a pleasure spending an hour with you today. And I look forward to actually meeting more of you as you introduce yourselves and we meet in person as we go through. I haven't got to meet a ton of people in person at Zoom, but a few. And every time it's a memorable moment. So thank you for letting me be a keynote speaker in your day to day. I hope you got something out of it. I just winged everything. I just made it all up on the fly. So I hope it came across okay. And for those Zoom grads that are actually watching, and for those of you that aren't Zoom grads and are watching, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate it. Today I wanted to talk to something that I use as my personal tool in my arsenal. This is by no means probably how Zoom designed this tool. And there are several other tools that probably do a better job, honestly, than how I use this. And full disclosure, I'm as efficient as possible when it comes to keeping notes for customers and just for my job. And I keep notes 2 different ways. And you're going to laugh at me, but it's okay. Go ahead. I keep notes actually 3 different ways. I'll name 3 different ways. The one and the first and the most basic is literally I use Notepad. You remember that old texting app in the Windows days? I still use it to take notes today. It's simple, it's effective, it's quick, it's effortless, and I use it every day to take notes. Second, I use OneNote. When I want to be more professional and I know I have to share my notes with somebody, I actually use OneNote a lot of the times for my daily note-taking ability. But third, here's the one that you probably don't know about that I use all the time. I use this one all the time. It's the personal chat. Did you even know this was there? First of all, did you even know personal chat was a thing? You can literally chat personally with yourself. You're like, why the hell would I want to do that, Patrick? Here's why. Here's how I use it. You can use it however you'd like. I literally chat with myself to keep everything in one place. You're thinking to yourself, Patrick, we can do that with a bunch of tools. I know you can. Most of the day, I spend in Zoom. Literally 90% of my day, I probably spend in Zoom because, as you can imagine, as a Zoom employee, I have a lot of Zoom meetings. I speak to a lot of customers, and I speak to a lot of colleagues and coworkers and new Zoom grads. I use Zoom all day long, every day. For files, people might say, hey, you could use OneDrive. You can use SharePoint. You can use Box. You can use G Drive. Yeah, you can use all those things. And I do. I use a lot of those tools. But when I'm using Zoom, I typically like to stay inside of Zoom if I can. And here's what personal chat allows me to do. You can see that I'm in the chat section of Zoom, obviously. Let me pull this down. I have like 4 things going on here at once. First of all, did you know Vanishing Pen is my favorite annotation tool? Oh my gosh. Here's a trick I learned today. As long as you're holding the mouse button, the vanishing timer doesn't start. Watch this. If I want to draw a square around it, and then I want to fill this square in, look how it's not vanishing. And I want to draw another square, and another square, and another square. You get the point. And color them all in. See how it's not vanishing? As soon as I lift my finger, look, it goes. I just learned that today. It has nothing to do with my talk. It was a super cool trick that I just learned. Oh, anyway, passing it on to you. Second trick that I'm learning is personal chat. The ability to keep a personal chat. I can literally personally chat myself. And you can see that I'm using my Patrick Kelley Zoom in the Ear account is a test account that we have here to test stuff with. I actually have a personal chat set up with myself. And so what this allows me to do is I can obviously check, go ahead and let me clear that right here and get out of the annotation. I can text myself, right? This is not a big deal. You're like, why would you text yourself? Here's why. To give myself a reminder of things to do. And here's what this allows me to do is I can actually set reminders or things for me to do. This is what I check my personal chat. I'm like, hey, at my end of my day, I'm going to keep notes on just a couple things that I need to do. I need to pick up the dog. Remind myself to do that. Can I do this in Outlook? Yes. Can I do it in Task and Teams? Yes. Do I choose to do it in Zoom? Yes. Because I have everything in one spot. Here's something else I use personal chats for, to store my files. If you go up here to more actions, guess what? You have actually a files tab. All the files that I share with myself are under this tab right here. Are they also in OneDrive? Yeah. They also in SharePoint? Yeah. Am I in SharePoint now when I'm in the middle of a meeting? No. I'm in OneDrive. I'm in Zoom right now. So I want to use Zoom to share files, to pull up files, to retrieve files, to see files, to share them. All right here in the Zoom section, the file section of my Zoom. I can also set up whiteboards. If I want to whiteboard stuff to myself to remind me of things, can do that as well. Here's also what I use it for. I love to take screenshots of things and put them in my chat. Right here is a screenshot tab. Right here, I'm just going to go to my fourth screen over here and just say I want to do a screenshot right here of this. Right here. Boom. And now I want to just circle this screenshot. I know you're not seeing it. Believe me, I know you're not. But I'm going to actually circle a couple things. I can actually put an arrow to things to remind me. Right here, right here. I know you're not seeing it, but now you're going to see it right now. Watch. I'm going to capture this, and I'm going to put this in my file. Now, this screen share that I just grabbed in my personal chat. That's a good repository. Could I save that JPEG somewhere? Yeah, I could. But why would I? I can just take a screenshot, and it's saved into my personal chat automatically. I don't have to save it anywhere. I know exactly where it's at. It's right here in my personal chat. Now, I can then, if I need to save it as a file or push it to somewhere else, I can do that. But I don't need to do that. It's literally saved within my repository of personal chat. This is a simple way to keep notes, honestly. Just things you want to grab and remind yourself to do. Again, are there other tools that can do this? Yes, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about I'm extending the usage of Zoom into other areas that maybe Zoom didn't even think about. Or maybe they did, they just didn't tell me. But here's what I use personal chats for. I can then store them in the starred container. It's literally already in the very top one. So I know exactly where it's at all times. I don't have to sort it anywhere. It's literally right there. It literally tells me you right here. This allows me to, again, keep a repository of files, keep a repository of chats, of tasks, of screenshots that I have, all in one place using one application with one experience. That's the power of Zoom.